Buying a home with no savings. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's have a look at this article from Domain about a Queensland couple who've bought a brand new home or plan to build a new home with absolutely no savings and no mortgage. How are they doing this, I hear you ask? Well, it's in a very unique location here in Queensland, which isn't too far away from the major centres, but just far away enough to be a pain in the ass. So let's jump over here to Google Earth so we can have a look. So here we have southeast Queensland. You know, really, because nothing else in Queensland matters. Yeah, of course not. Of course not. Or I guess it feels like that to anyone who lives outside of southeast Queensland. You know, it's all very much obsessed about this area here. You've got Toowoomba inland, was competing to be the capital of Queensland at one stage. A beautiful, beautiful city. I really love Toowoomba. Bloody cold though. Bloody cold. Then you've got, you know, good old Brisbane here. Huge area, one of the biggest cities in the world of land area, really. And hilly as anything. Hilly as anything. You got the switch out here. Up north, we have the Sunshine Coast, a more laid-back and relaxed area. We used to always go to Noosa when I was a kid coming up from Victoria. You've got Nambour a bit more inland. Now, if we scroll down, we have the Gold Coast down here. You know, the playground. You know, it's beautiful down there. I used to like it for Ubering when I would go down there because it's just pretty much you go straight up and down, up and down, up and down. Take people to the suburbs, take them back. But what we're talking about is Russell Island, and you can see it here. So if we zoom out, it's not too far from Brisbane, not too far from the Gold Coast, and it's in right here, all near Redland Bay, or Redland. And you've got Kucoin, Mudlow Island up there. You've got Macleay Island, and you've got Russell Island here. Now, back in the day, there were a lot of people buying essentially swampland here, you know, land that disappeared during the tide. But you can see there is a lot of development here. A lot of development. Lots of small little blocks. Small little blocks, beautifully, you know, tree grown. And I've been out here. I had a gentleman contact me who wanted to build some little houses on Russell as an investment for, you know, people to downsize. Now, to get to Russell, to get to the island, this is where you've got a little bit of the issue. We have the ferry and the barge. So you can see that you've got cars here on the island, which are registered differently, and then they catch the ferry or the barge back to here, to Redland Bay. You can see this is where people have all their cars parked. They're either going to the island or to civilization. You know, they park them all here. The kids go to high school, they come off here and they jump off. There's a primary school on the island. There's a Woolies on the island, I think. I don't think there's an Aldi. But you've got that cost of going back and forth on the barge all the time. There was talk of putting a bridge there. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I don't think the islanders would like it. I think people like their lifestyle. Now, if we zoom in, let's go to Street View and we'll have a look here. We'll just pick a random street. Now, you've got a whole lot of rather actually pretty small blocks. We're not talking big parcels of land here, everyone. You know, there's bananas growing on the island. I think there's a banana plantation. And you can see here, you know, people have nice little houses. You know, beautiful little house. Often transportable. You could, you know, half build it, fabricate it off-site, build it in. You know, it's all you need. And you can get the land here very cheap. You know, some around like 17 grand. You know, you get a little two-bedroom place on here, and it's all you would need. Sure, your rates are going to be a little higher. Access to emergency medical services will be by, you know, I think boat or helicopter. There are some facilities here on Russell. Russell's the most advanced of the islands. It's got the best facilities. We can go down here to the town. I quite liked it. I was going to Rachel, come on, let's get something. Let's move to Russell. And you know, get a nice cheap piece of land. You've got the police station here. You've got the IGA. Sorry, an IGA, not a Woolies. So your food's going to be more expensive. It's going to be more expensive. Or you could do just the monthly shop. Maybe I should Maybe I should talk to her again. What do you reckon, guys? You got QAS, so you've got the ambulance service here, and they have an ambulance and some facilities here on the island. So, nice little island lifestyle, reasonably cheap property prices. Your rates are going to be higher than other places. That's something to be aware of. But, if you want a nice little block, there's lots of places. It gets cheaper the further south you get. Let's go down here. And there's some houses, go right here down on the water, that have got beautiful water views, that you just couldn't get. And huge transmission lines. There you go. I wonder how much this block here is going to go for. Under the power line. If you're not worried about a bit of electromagnetic radiation, she'll be right, mate. She'll be right. I'm sure you could be fine. Yeah, but you've got the views there. That just ruins it. I picked the one spot with the power connecting into the island, but there you go. I mean, they'll Photoshop that out of the real estate images, don't they? So, you can see, if you like the bay, you like the lifestyle. You see a nice little house there. I think I'm selling myself on it. So let's have a look at this young couple. Let's have a look at this young couple of what they're doing. I mean, if I could get high-speed internet there, I could work from there, to be honest. I could work from there. Rachel wouldn't want it because, we've got the kids dancing and all the other social things associated with the children, but, I could probably do it. So, it's usually only the wealthy who can afford to buy property without borrowing from the bank. In the midst of a pandemic, this Brisbane couple planned to build a new home, not only without a mortgage, but without having to save a cent for a deposit. So local snake catcher Chris Gorder and his partner Christy Waddups, who recently lost her job with a fashion label in a Paddington retail store, decided they would each access $20,000 from their superannuation, which instantly gave the couple $40,000. They worked out if they pooled that 40 grand with the Queensland Government's First Home Owners Grant and the Federal Government's Home Builder Grant, they'd have a cool $80,000 between them. In the current climate, my partner and I have been able to access $40,000 of super between us in the past month, he told Domain. With the First Home Buyers Grant of $15,000 and the Home Builders Grant of $25,000, we're able to access $80,000 without saving. While $80,000 would normally mean a respectable deposit on a home or apartment, the pair knew they didn't want a mortgage, especially with her currently out of work. So they looked at what they could build for 80 grand without having to borrow from the bank. They discovered they could buy land on Russell Island, a tiny town set off the coast about 40 kilometres from the CBD, and managed to purchase a block for just $21,000. So you can see here, I mean, clearing that block is going to be a bit of work if you want to put a house on it. And there's money associated with that. I mean, hopefully he can do it himself. He can get the chainsaw there himself. But the problem is with trees that big, you can do it. It's a bit scary when they come down. Those big ones, it's a bit scary when they come down. And these blocks are pretty small. Biggest thing I would be worried about the cost of building out there is getting your septic installed and maintained. Or do they have town storage out there? I don't think they do. I don't think that. Last time I checked, I don't think they did. Correct me if I'm wrong, everyone. Because if they've got town water and storage, then damn. Mr. Gorder and Miss Waddups will use the rest of their money, $59,000, to build a tiny home which will include septic, foundations, electrical, plumbing, transportation costs, and local planning applications through Redland Council. Okay, so they have to get septic out there. 59 grand isn't much, even for a tiny home out there. You're going to have increased costs getting out there. So maybe they want a real... Okay, so they're building a one-bedroom home. They're building a cottage or a shack. They're not building a house, which is probably all you need. All you need for a young couple like that. And then if they decide they want to have a family or they've got other family members moving in, you extend, guys. You build another room onto it. You adjust. You design your plan so you can grow your house as you need it. Because otherwise you're just investing money into space that you're not going to use. I saw that all the time on projects where people would be throwing all this money on this storage space to store cheap IKEA crap. The one-bedroom home will total 30 square meters, with the couple also planning to install a shipping container for storage. It will feature decking to add more livable outdoor space. All going according to plan, which sometimes it doesn't do. The couple are hoping to have their tiny home built and moved into the island by the end of the year. Let's see how the council deals with it. Because the problem with some of these tiny homes is they're technically caravans. And you don't see many caravans in the images here. They actually want houses, and they've got pretty onerous planning restrictions. Pretty onerous. Let's see if there's any other tiny homes we can see on here. I mean, here we've got, nothing really small. No. There you go. It's all you need for retirement, guys. The couple said they would have struggled to get a mortgage through a bank to pay for the home, given Miss Wallop's job loss, and that they felt comfortable about using the superannuation for the build, even though they would have less to call on when retiring. Yes, but they might actually have a home. They might actually have a home that is their own, that they can live in. What's more important, having super that you can friddle away, or having your own home that you own? Superannuation investment is tumbling anyway, so we're just trying to come up with options to get a roof over our head in a cheap and sustainable way, Mr. Goddess said. We figure it would be more prudent in the long term to access super for our home. He said people needed to know this was an option and urged buyers to consider thinking outside the box in order to get on the property ladder. You haven't done it yet, mate. Good luck to you, but it hasn't happened yet. You got to pull it off. This is the hard thing. I hope they get it together. I really do. This is encouraging in a way. They're taking a situation where times are tough. They would never have gotten a loan. You wouldn't be able to get a loan for a tiny house like that, for 30 square meters. The bank wouldn't give it to you. They wouldn't give it to you. If they want the lifestyle, if they want to live out here, let's have a look. Have a look here. It'd be one of the smaller inland blocks with a bit of trees. What do we have here? Do we have a commercial? Is it a church? Oh, community centre. There you go. You got those little houses next door. Notice how we haven't seen a brickie yet. We haven't seen a brick veneer house. It's all weatherboard or timber or FC sheeting. And that's because of the cost of getting... They've got a bowls club. Wow. Well, there you go. What more do you want? Guys, it's all about the cost of getting everything over there. That's the biggest thing. Getting your building materials there. So you've got a nice little house there. There are a lot of people, particularly young people, that are priced out of the market, so it's really hard for them to save a deposit, he said. He's right there. Associate Director and Mortgage Broker, Pro Solution Private Clients, Jody McCowan, said, while the couple might have been able to undertake the build using superannuation, it was not as easy for those looking to borrow money. I understand people on JobKeeper can access their super in an emergency, but they would need to get another job and service their probationary period, and then approach lenders to successfully get a mortgage. People will also need to meet the requirements of the genuine savings criteria policy that the bank and other lenders uses. Under the policy, many banks require at least 5% of a deposit, and that comes from long-term savings considered to be those with the bank for more than 3 months. Ms. McCowan said those applying for a mortgage would also need to ensure the property they were buying or building met the lending or investment criteria, and that's the issue there with the banks. The banks would never have lent them for a tiny home on Russell Island. Not a chance. Not a chance. So, there you go, everyone. There is a consideration. People are using their super money to buy onto Russell. What do you think? What do you think? Do you live out there, guys? Do you think it will be a nice place to live? Or do you want to be a little bit closer to civilization? Because remember, you could commute from there to Brisbane, but you're going to be catching that ferry. I think, 30 minutes? 40-minute ferry ride? And you got to wait for the time there. You've got the other island. You've got Macleay. It's a bit posher, I think. And there's rivalry between the other islands. You've got Lamb Island as well. And we go up here, to Coochie Mudlow Island. Some nice ones there. There you have it. It's sad that you have people having to resort to this situation, accessing their super to get a home, but it's good that they're finding ways to do it. I hope they pull it off. I really do. I hope it doesn't fall apart, because we'll never hear about it if it does. I mean, there's challenges to building like this. This is remote construction, guys. You've got to be aware. There's going to be issues with the council. There's going to be issues with neighbors in some of these places. Are they going to complain about tiny houses propping up everywhere? There'll be more activity, more people in the community. There's a lot of empty lots out here, guys. A lot of empty lots. A lot of people who've bought there and haven't been able to do anything on there. A lot of people who've realized that the rates are bloody expensive, and they're buying the property, and they're, or the council has seized it. Just people not paying. So we'll have to see, everyone. Oh, look at this. They built at the bay here. Nice. So there we have it. There we have it. A young couple trying to get a, little starter house on Russell Island. No deposit needed, everyone. Just use your super. Use all the government bailout and handout money. What do you think? Well, I hope they pull it off. I hope they pull it off. Because if you can get a home without a mortgage, it could work. It could work. And I'm sure there'd be snake handling work there. But how's she going to get a job out there? That's the thing. Working in retail, there ain't going to be much retail out on Russell Island. There's a lot of people retiring there. I'm sure she could probably commute every day to Redland Bay to work. There may be some opportunities there that could work. If they had high-speed internet, if you're working remotely, you could do it there. There you go. Okay, I've got myself interested now in Russell Island. I better not let Rachel watch this video. She'll get angry at me. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this, guys. Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? Do you encourage them to do it? Do you live out there on the islands? What do you reckon? Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. You can buy a merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, everyone, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye for now.